Hello, listeners. Welcome to another great podcast. This is Satavisa. For today's podcast, we have with us Om Malviya, President of Tezos India. Hello, Mr. Malviya. Welcome to Analytics Insight. It's great to have you here.
Hey Satvisa, likewise, great to be here.
Thank you. Now, can you please give me a little brief about Tejos India and the services it's offering?
Okay, yeah, so Tezos India is one of the leading blockchain adoption entity in India. Tezos India primarily work towards adoption of Tezos blockchain. Tezos is a decentralized smart contract blockchain, which has multiple entities, or all majority of them non-profit based around the world to basically educate on developers and corporations, startups, and basically anybody who wants to do something with blockchain. And these entities, including Tezos India, we all try to become a bridge, sort of, for everybody who wants to explore the Tezos blockchain, and we help them in whatever way we can possible. This could be in terms of funding, financial resources. This could be in terms of development resources. This could be in terms of education and training. This could be in terms of basically helping with any use cases, right? And Tezos India primarily works in three verticals. One is sort of ecosystem development, where we sit with startups and organizations and help them to onboard their blockchain use cases on top of Tezos, and we make a really strong case as to why they should choose Tezos. Then second is we have Tezos India Game Launchpad that was recently launched, where we are talking with a lot of game studios as to how they can leverage the blockchain technology and pioneer the world of Web3 gaming. And the third that we have also going to be launched recently, I guess in next 2 to 3 days, the announcement is going to go live, is Tezos India Arts and Culture. Now, Tezos has established itself since 2014 as one of the leading innovative chain. Tezos was the first one to pioneer proof of stake. Tezos was the first one to pioneer on-chain governance. And due to its very low energy consumption nature, it has become the blockchain of choice for thousands and thousands of artists around the world, which has established itself one of the second biggest blockchain in terms of NFT art when we talk about it. So, and we found out that a lot of artists, creators, and collectors from India also are participating in this entire clean NFT movement that has been started by Tezos. And the new vertical that we are launching is Tezos India Arts and Culture, where we go sit with museums, galleries, artists, collectors, and we basically train them how to mint your NFT, how to price your NFT, how to increase your outreach. For galleries, that we talk about how to curate exhibition about NFTs, how they can tap the entire potential of NFT art. So I guess that is just a brief insight about Tezos India, but we do a lot more than what I just mentioned. Basically, anything and everything that has to do with Tezos in India.
Well, that sounds really great. Now, I'm curious that how Tejos aims to enhance the online and mobile value-added service sectors.
Well, so you can think of Tezos as a decentralized smart contract platform. And when I say decentralized smart contract blockchain, you mean you can essentially build decentralized applications on top of it. Now, these applications can have their own use cases. It could have, let's say, use cases around NFTs. It can have use cases around decentralized finance, or in any other sector. So Tezos is a decentralized network. It doesn't have any company, or it's not. It's more like Bitcoin. Like nobody is CEO of Bitcoin, nobody is CEO of Ethereum, nobody is CEO of Tezos. This is just a global decentralized movement that everybody was trying to put together. So there is no. You could say that there is no centralized team which focus on something specific. But I can speak from Tezos India that what we are looking for is we are focusing a lot on the gaming and the NFT side, right, including all the others. Now, gaming is very interesting because if you are able to provide some really amazing games on, let's say, mobile or web, because that's where the next billion users are. That's where the value addition is. And if we can do that using Tezos blockchain, because it has the software maturity, it has been there around some time, it has never been down like some other platforms, very resilient, very innovative, very upgradable. And if we are able to give that same kind of software experience to game developers and game studios, I'm pretty sure we can capitalize a lot on that part. And that's where the focus is, to basically activate a lot of mobile games, online games, and have them integrated Web3 element of Tezos, where they can build their sustainable economics, the gameplay, the game tokenomics, etc. And second is on the NFT side, where that's where we think there is going to be a huge value addition in coming years, where everything is going to be sort of, I mean, not everything, but a lot of things is going to be NFTized, you can think of. And whenever you're looking at NFT, I'm pretty sure that one point of time corporates are going to get these questions that by doing this NFT activity, how much you are contributing to the climate change, or the carbon footprint. And that's where I think Tejos shines really well, because it takes millions times less energy than minting an NFT on Ethereum or Bitcoin, for example, right? So I think these are the two areas we're really excited about and looking forward to.
Thank you for explaining that to me. Now, I want to know what are the challenges that you have faced while leveraging these disruptive technologies in your operations, and what were your solutions?
Well, it's always a little bit hard to operate any crypto business in India, but we don't have that many problems, fortunately, because we are not a crypto service, right? We are just a organization where we sort of provide development support, funding, software consultancy, things like that, to help individual companies, startups on board with the Tezos blockchain, right? But still, the issue that we face is, while we are very excited, fascinated, and we know there is a long-term value add to the use cases like NFTs, decentralized finance, etc. But it always gets hard when we are talking with Indian startups, corporates who want to onboard with this technology, because they do have concerns about regulatory uncertainty. That what if I try to do, let's say, some NFT, and then government might just come behind me asking me, 10 different questions, that what I do with crypto. But luckily, now it is fading a little bit. There are a lot more good tools available that are making it easier. So that's one challenge. It's not completely solved. There are just baby steps in the direction to solving it, and I'm looking forward to it, how it grows. Recently, the NFT tax also that was introduced, with this, which sort of differentiate between NFT goods as virtual goods and NFT goods where there's also some tangible or physical value behind it. So that's another good step forward, I think, for NFTs. But in overall crypto, I think we are still far behind, and not being able to do a lot more in cryptocurrency, like paying prize money in, let's say, cryptocurrencies, or doing activities around cryptocurrencies, etc. Does refrain us from doing a lot more that we could do. So that's one of the major challenges, I think, in face. And then again, then also other challenges, yeah, I mean, if you're talking with banks, making sure to explain them your business really well, because they don't have the entire understanding of how this entire system work. um, Talking with things like Razorpay and this kind of stuff, that okay, hey, we don't have to do anything with crypto, we are literally just a software consultancy provider, and just don't ban our bank account and stuff. So I think there's still some challenges behind it, and that is largely due to poor education of the space for the stakeholders who are managing all these things.
Well, that sounds pretty interesting. Now, if we move this talk a little farther into the Tejos blockchain, I would like to know what have been your experience in introducing this blockchain in Indian market.
Well, again, as I said, I'm not the founder of Tezos. I'm just an early community member, and I've always been fascinated by the Indian Indian market. And back then in 2018, I saw that a lot of people were taking interest in blockchain, and in next 4 years, the blockchain space in India is going to explode. So that's when I talked with the non-profit foundation that sits in Switzerland. It's called Tezos Foundation. That maybe if we could do something about Tezos in India, that would benefit us in the longer term, and it will establish an active footprint of Tezos in India, and with a specific entity called Tezos India, and that would mean you could always rely on an Indian entity for any support instead of going through mails and writing to some people who are sitting in some different country who don't really care about what you do. But we want to give that sort of support touch, that we are here to help you out, and we are going to help you build the best platform in terms of technology if you want to use blockchain, right? So that's how we started Tezos India in, I guess, late 2019. And since then we have trained thousands of developers. We have onboarded multiple companies. We have done multiple funding as well in India as through our grants program. And now there is an active Indian ecosystem that builds on Tezos from India. So that's really good, and we are seeing amazing progress in this space. There are, as I said, hundreds of artists, collectors, also actively minting NFTs on Tezos, and it's all organic, right? So we are not doing a lot of, like, we are paying millions of dollars to a lot of people to basically come and use our platform. Whatever we are doing, it's just all in a frugal and organic way, and that's what works out in the longer term, because even in this bear market, we have only seen the activity go up instead of going down majorly in the NFT space.
It's great to know that. Now, lastly, I want to ask you, what are your future plans with Tejos?
Um, well, the future plans with Tezos India is twofold. Maybe not twofold, but as I said, we have these three things going on. One is a very active developer relations, developer activities. Second is gaming launchpad, and third is arts and culture. So our future plan is to grow all these three verticals in their own capacity, have their own space in the Indian market, where we want in next year we want to onboard another 1,000 developers to Tezos. We want to onboard another 1,000 artists, creators, and collectors to Tezos who are actively minting, collecting all the NFT art. And then we also want to onboard, a lot of maybe 20 to 30 games at least in 1 year, who are actively building on top of Tezos, and are publishing their games, actively with active user engagement, etc. So these are the three things broadly you could think of that we plan to do. And other than that, it's always a constant effort to, push out the education effort so that everybody in this space can be educated towards what is Tezos and what are some best practices for building on top of blockchain or building of any DeFi or NFT product.
That sounds really amazing. I hope it will be helpful for all of our listeners too. Thank you, Mr. Malviya, for joining us today. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks, Satavisa. Thank you for having me. Such a great talk.
Thank you.